Over the last couple of weeks, we've kind of talked about making decisions as Christians. In the process of that, I've laid out to you how it seems that Jesus made his decisions, and that standard was one of humility. What is the humble way of doing it, not the spectacular or way to fame way of doing things. Also looked a little bit at what it takes to actually follow the will of the Lord. And I guess we came to the conclusion that it requires us to be free from being attached to having it one way or another, but that instead it was always important that we do the will of God in the end, and that we were free to do whatever God needed done. Not only that, we were free to do God's will because we were willing to go and listen for God's will. We also looked for a week there at what is the purpose of life, and yes, it is to come to love God and to find in all the things that are here on earth those things that draw us closer to the very heart of God and keep us there. Maybe another addition could be made. It's not really an addition. It's just, well, what should I call it? An encouragement. You see, one of the teachers of the law came to Jesus during a debate, and he asked, of all the commandments, which is the most important? And Jesus answered, the most important one is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul, with all your mind and all your strength. And a second commandment is just like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. There's no commandment greater than these. Well said, teacher, the man replied. You are right in saying that God is one, and there is none but him. To love him with all your heart, with all your understanding, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is more important than all the burnt offerings and sacrifices. And Jesus saw that he had answered wisely and said, You are not far from the kingdom of God. I know that in all the week that you have spent here listening to me speak to you about how do we make decisions as Christians, it might have sounded complicated to go do all that. Maybe that was unnecessary, a burden that you have put on yourself. It seems to be that if one reads the 12th chapter of the Gospel of Mark, starting at the 29th verse, where I have just been, that the program that Jesus puts before us, that God puts before us, is not that complicated. The trick is just to be free from all attachments to other things, to actually get around and do it. And in that we do fulfill what God has put us here on earth for, to love God and to love neighbor, to become saved. In this, we do tend to choose the road that Jesus chose, for to love your neighbor when they are in need requires humility of us, especially if we and that neighbor are not necessarily best friends. So as difficult as the last 3 devotions have been, maybe they're not so difficult at all. Maybe they are the great commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind and all your might. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you can work that out, and you can work out to be free to do this, well, you're almost there. A reminder to all of us. This is now the first time that I've spoken to you on a Wednesday night. This is going to be the new night for Stay With Us. Sunday night will be given to evening prayer with a message from one of the pastors of Lutheran Saints in Ministry at its end. Stay with us isn't going away. Stay with us is just getting a new night. Wednesday will be it, and today is that first Wednesday. And we hope that you will find us again next Wednesday. May God bless you richly and draw you close, as He will certainly do.